If you're pro 2A and vote Democrat, if this doesn't make you change the way you vote, nothing will. Because this right here is evil. According to Fox News and a whole bunch of other outlets, more than 24 House Democrats put forward legislation Friday that would slap assault weapons, so-called assault weapons, and high-capacity magazines with 1,000% excise tax, a change that would raise the price of a $500 weapon to $5,000 in a bid to reduce access to guns across the country. Representative Don Bayer and 24 other House Democrats introduced the legislation Friday. It's the second time Democrats have put forward this idea. The same 1,000% tax would be imposed on any semi-automatic assault weapon, which last year's bill defined as a semi-automatic rifle or pistol with a fixed magazine of 10 rounds or more, or that have other various features. Under that rule, a weapon that normally costs $2,000 would force customers to pay more than $20,000. A change Bayer argued last year could help curb the epidemic of gun violence. How is this supposed to curb the epidemic of gun violence when the AR-15 is used in less than 1% of gun crimes in this country? That makes absolutely no sense. But we just need to call this what it is. It's a working class people tax. It's the Democrat Party saying the only people we want to have guns are the wealthy, and the working class do not deserve the right to protect their families. This is disgusting, especially considering that if there is one group of people who need a gun for protection, it's the people living in the most dangerous areas of our country. And those places tend to usually be lower economic and working class areas. But it's not just the working class, it's also the middle and upper middle class, because $5,000 for a rifle is expensive as hell, even for middle and upper middle class people. But I'm not surprised. I'm pretty sure the vast majority of the Democrats pushing this are wealthy, so this won't affect them one bit. I keep trying to tell my liberal gun owners about the Democrat Party. They're the only party that tries to do things like this. The Libertarian Party doesn't do this. The Republican Party doesn't do this. It's always the mush-mouthed Democrats always trying to restrict people's rights under the Second Amendment. And they're not only trying to do it wholesale, they're usually doing it on some scale of superiority, where the only people who can have access to these firearms are the wealthy, are the people who can afford private security guards. But when it comes to the normal, everyday working people, they don't give a shit. They did the same thing in the 1930s with the NFA tax. Sure, right now, $200 isn't exactly cost prohibitive, but in 1934, it was equivalent of $4,000. They claimed it was to keep certain guns out of the hands of gangsters. But gangsters were buying their machine guns illegally. So the only people that stopped was the working class and the poor, because they couldn't afford it. Y'all did the same thing with Saturday night specials. Oh, we need to ban the Saturday night specials. We need to ban cheap guns. Who do you think that was gonna affect? It wasn't gonna affect the wealthy. The wealthy weren't buying cheap guns. It was the poor people. It was the working class people who needed access to cheaper, more affordable guns so they could protect themselves. For a party that says they're about the people, you sure as hell like throwing them under the bus when it comes to the most important right that they have, which is their ability to protect their life. The Second Amendment said the people, not only the rich, but as they've proven time and time again, they will only do these things for you as long as it puts you under their control, which isn't a surprise because they're the party that wants bigger government. And the last thing a big government wants is for the regular working class people to be armed, because they can't control them if they are armed. They want you forced to look to them for everything so that they have the power to deny you anything. Oh, and for the record, y'all might want to be easy with all this tax everything tactics. The British tried to do the same thing, and we ended up with an independent country and a Second Amendment. And yes, AR-15s are protected by the Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. It didn't say only handguns, it said arms. Guns aren't political. That's why I need your help getting this message to spread on YouTube by clicking the thumbs up button, leaving a comment to let me know what you think of the video, then subscribing to the channel. But most importantly, click that bell symbol. For products featured in this video, click the links in the description.